Welcome to hillwooddreamstn.com. I'm David Vadragovich, Agent David Cares. No, AgentDavidCares.com is my day job. Outside of being an insurance agent, I help my girlfriend homestead here in Middle Tennessee. For those of you that need to know, I think it's Zone 7B. Welcome to our very first YouTube video. We will see how this goes. If the rain opens up, you're going to get to see take two. I do have my cheat sheet with me, and this being our first video, I like to set some goals, manage expectations, all that fun stuff. Hillwood Dreams TN started in 2016, and the whole purpose of it is for Lisa to be able to retire from her nursing job and live off the farm here. And we've spent the last 4 or 5 years really working towards that. We're in a transition period. Figured bring out the YouTube channel, help some other new homesteaders see how things really look, such as poop and not being pretty on the homestead. It takes a special kind of person to enjoy doing it. Alright, I have no idea right now how often we're going to post. This may be the only video. If we get a bunch of likes and comments down below, we may be posting once every 2 weeks or even once a week, depending on our editor in training, which is Lisa's grandson. So, blah, blah, blah. We expect a good learning curve, so we'll start off with me talking through the entire video, and as we get into various farm projects, one of which currently is building a bunny tractor, we'll get into the editing and you won't get all the filler stuff. The other thing that I'm hoping, because my background is in business, is to be doing referrals with other partners in the community. We have a spot just 5 miles down the road. They're in the process of putting a little farm stand on the front of their property on your honor. I would like to have Holly in, maybe P3 Meats, which we were talking with. They're getting ready to start up a YouTube channel, I believe, in supporting our local businesses, those we partner with. Maybe send them a few views. So that's a little bit about my character. Various topics I am very happy to ramble on endlessly about, include things such as the history of Hillwood Dreams TN. If any of you out there are not as into it, but you have a spouse or significant other who is, I can give you all sorts of ways to score brownie points, including domain names and shirts and things. Usually I don't make Lisa cry, but when I pulled a couple of these stunts, she had tears of happiness. Not too romantic here, but it can happen from time to time. Being here with us, you will learn how to get things done on a budget. We do not always go out and buy the newest and greatest and latest stuff to get things done. If you look here, you all started off with the buffs in the buff hut. This frame started off as a 10 by 17 from Harbor Freight, and one of the projects you may get to see is us putting a roof on it so their area is not so muddy. Self-reliance and preparedness. On the topic of water, hey, we got rain, that's water, right? Not exactly. There's a lot you do with water. You move water, you store water. We try to keep all our animals and all our gardens off of city water. We do not have a well here, and if you hang around till July through October, November, you're going to see us go through some 60 to 90 day droughts, and we'll show you how we help manage through that, keep the pigs cool and everything else. Raised beds. We have a couple different styles. We have some oak and some pine that we just went and did the burning to. And if we're still doing this in a few years and you're still around, you'll get to see the review on does having oak, much heavier, last that much longer. Structures for critters. We're standing here right by Fort Pluck. It's our very first chicken coop. We have built chicken coops since. No two are alike. Well, for the most part, no two are alike. And actually, Fort Pluck, we think we're ready to do a big remodel on. So that's one of our future projects we may record once we learn how to edit. All right. Structures for critters, forestry management. Behind me, you can see about 1.5 acres of pine trees. Part of the history will be explaining how we made it less of a fire hazard. Because we have those long droughts, occasionally the mountain catches fire, and that is an issue, and we would rather it not be here near the property. Feed storage. Garbage cans work great. Brown totes, as long as they're squared up and level, don't get water inside. Some trash can lids are more prone to break on others. I have a little bit of a resentment over that. I'll do a review on that. I'll let you know how duct tape on there and maybe silicone works, so that way you can learn from my mistakes and find all new ones. Doing stuff then redoing it. That's more or less the motto of Hill of Dreams. Why do it once when you can do it twice? And hopefully the second time turns out better. Usually it does. You will see builds by a non-carpenter. Ta-da! So carpenters, you're welcome to come in and give advice after the fact and just sit there and cringe and have nightmares. I do like to tell the story real briefly of my carpentry background. My dad's dad was a carpenter. He could take a 16 penny nail, put it on a 2x4, hit it, and boom, it would go right through. My dad, he'd have the 16 penny nail. He'd have to hit it once or twice. They called me lightning. I never hit the same spot twice. I've been telling that joke for years. I love it. All right. We'll talk about using the right jobs for the right tools for the job. I did a lot of stuff with a drill, and then I finally trusted the people on YouTube and went out and got an impact drill, and oh, did I ever waste time. I love my impact drill. I highly recommend having one. Greenhouses. Watched a lot of videos, particularly farther up north. Those were too advanced for me, but we have a cattle panel greenhouse. It just got a 4-foot addition this year. We're looking at building a more permanent greenhouse with actual windows down below. We may or may not, YouTube tends to be a little funny about processing your own meat. As Lisa starts going, we'll start giving you feedback on the farmer's market, looking at your market, doing some marketing, things of that nature. Selling eggs in a market where other people are selling eggs and they don't understand business and all the costs involved. If you like to nerd out, my background's in finance. I love looking at the numbers, cost analysis, all that stuff. Protecting your homestead. There are many different things to protect it from. 4-legged critters, 2-legged critters. We had kudzu growing on the property here a couple years ago, and we cut that off after the first week. Fencing. We have all sorts of fencing. We have reclaimed chain link fencing. We have chicken wire fencing. We got 2x4 welded. We got 6x6 field fencing. 2x4 perimeter fencing. We have one section across the back, which is just different sections mixed together. If you ever watch me run a T-post line, it'll go sort of like this, and the posts will not be like this. It'll be like that, and that, which is why I quite often farm that work out. Lisa found, so we're doing something new this year. We're limiting the chickens out in the yard time, and the ground is so green. It is not muddy. It's not going to be such a dust bowl later this year. But she has a new app, and we found out we have all sorts of critter-friendly, edible clovers and ferns and other such stuff. And we may include, hey, here's what we found this week on the farm, and then maybe you'll be able to find it. Lisa is part of her farm income project is looking at sows. We have solar. We use the Jackery. It was a good way to ease into the solar. We've tried it with the dehydrators. We've tried it with the washing machine. I've run my office for an entire day off 1,000 watt. I have a much better understanding now of how long 1,000 or 2,000 watts will last. During power outages, we can report how the freezers work. Adding new stuff to the property. That can include anything from critters to buildings. And something I learned years ago was about changing your environment to fit what you need. It served me very well since I've been here at hillofdreamstn.com, learning, you know what, this is the way it is, this is the way we want to do it. Maybe we'll step out of the ring. As I think I mentioned, I've been in sales and marketing. My background is in insurance. I have life insurance to protect Lisa so that she can stay here if something happens to me. If you all want to know more about that, happy to have some one-off videos on it. Security planning, rural internet. So the fun story is I got Skylink last year. No. Starlink, Skynet. Not the Terminator one, the satellite internet one. And I put it up on the roof of the barn. I had clear sight lines. I had great internet speeds. And then spring happened. And the rain came. And the leaves popped out on the trees. And the trees grew taller. And I was dropping my client calls, which is not a good thing. Yesterday I was up on the roof. I went and moved it and my signal was back. So I might be able to give you a little insight to that. As far as the critters go, we have CPR, we have chickens, we have pigs, we have rabbits. Those are large pigs. We have quail, we have turkeys, we have ducks, we have mealworms and darkling beetles. All right, well, from watching lots of YouTubes over the years, I know to say thank you. Please like and subscribe and share these videos. And hopefully out of my little rambling here, we'll get a few shorts. Have a great day.